Peace and love, and welcome to the channel. Um, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so that you can get a notification when I go live with these videos. Now, this week I'm starting to do. Every morning I do a pre-market analysis, and in that I give you a general idea of what the markets is doing um, and whatnot. And it's what I call a temperature check. Like you look at the heat maps and whatnot to see after the market what happened. So I do a heat check in the morning to give you my analysis on what's going on in the pre-market and whatnot, and also give you a couple tickers to put in your watch list to keep your eye on, and potentially you could make some money from. And in doing that, I have been tracking my trades since I started trading, and I was wondering. I was saying to myself, do people even do that? So I'll be look out for a video coming real soon about tracking your trades. So it's very important that as a trader that you do. Why? Because you need to back test, and you need to be able to look back and see exactly what's going on, what's happening, what has happened. You know, where where that's how you fine tune your trading. Well, I got a horrible entry here. I could have waited on this one here. Because I thought it was going to do X, Y, and Z on this particular day. It didn't do it on this day. But had I waited, and I'm going to show you that today in this video, how that came to pass with me with a particular trade. Um, Sometimes you're early, sometimes you're late. It's better to be early if you buy enough. If you buy the theta, if you buy the time, it's better to be early than it is to be late. So we're going to get all off into that. So hit the like button for me, and let's get started. Okay. Let me share my screen here real quick. All right. There we go. Now, first one we want to look at is SPY. Let me take all my drawings and off my charts because we're not doing technical analysis today. So this was a short week. We came in because they decided to give us, the markets was closed on Juneteenth. So we had a 4-day week, a trading day this week. And what I was saying all week, if you were watching the pre-market videos, let's look at S&P. I was saying how there was a nice trend being built on S&P, as well as on the NASDAQ. Same thing, same pattern. And same thing on the Dow. And eventually, as you can tell by all these big green candles, we got a breakout on Friday, right? So things were looking so funny all week. And, I didn't. I wasn't sold on the fact that the markets was about to be bullish as it is right now. Towards the middle of the week, at the beginning of the week, I was, but then there was some things that I didn't like and whatnot. So, but here's the deal, right? For those 4 days, SPY went nowhere. It basically ranged, from a low of 370 to a high of 378. Didn't really go much of anywhere. So I was waiting for it to break in a particular direction. Now, I figured it would break to the downside. The trend is bearish. It has been bearish. Yes, I understand that we had two big, huge gaps that must be filled. There's no way in the world SPY is going to have these gaps for long. But the timing of it, I wasn't particularly sure with it. So there was not a lot of trades this week. I did not put out a lot of plays this week and whatnot. So I'm going to go over the plays that I put. Actually, the last 2 weeks, I have not put out a lot of trades, but the trades were profitable had you gotten in them and stayed in those trades. And I'm going to show you that today. So the first one I want to look at is Moderna. Now, this trade was called on back here on the 16th. Yes, the 16th. No, it was called on the 15th. Now, on that day, it was a call, 130 strike price, and it expires on Friday, June 24th, right? So, and that was based off of this pattern right here. I seen that it had started to reverse on the 14th, right? So we went in on that Friday, and I have been saying that since the trend is pretty much bearish on the markets, that we're not holding calls overnight, right? And so on that particular day, had you got in from the open price to the high of the day with the contract that we had selected, which actually did get in the money, it was $130 strike price. On that day, could have gotten 77% return off that play. Now, from there, price dropped. The next day it dropped. But look at what it did. It gapped down actually the next day. It closed at 128 here. And the next day it gapped down and opened at 124. $4 move to the downside, pulled back, and then came back and closed. The next day it began to surge. So the contract expires yesterday, and had you gotten in and stayed in all the way up until yesterday, that contract expired. You could have got a maximum potential return of 245% off Moderna, trade Moderna. All right. The next one I want to share that we traded. I'm sharing all there hasn't been, we've traded, and this is a rarity. We've only traded 6 equities in the last 2 weeks. Wow. That's like a record. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter how many you do. It matters how many you're able to be profitable in and staying with the trades. You cannot be in 7 damn trades. I'm talking to myself here because that's stuff that I used to do. You can't manage that many trades. Well, maybe you can. I can't manage that many trades and whatnot. I just find it much simpler and much easier. I don't want to make my trading so hard, and I don't want to sit in front of a screen all day trying to trade. So anyway, now we went in with $65 calls twice. We went in back here on it was called back here on the 16th. Again, another trade that was put in on the 16th, and that's this red candle, and it did nothing. Did not get into that trade on that day. However, that's what I mean by staying with it. So this red candle for calls, you're wrong. You're wrong, right? I didn't enter that particular day. I think I got in at the end of the day, actually, right at the close of the market. And because it went against me all that day, right? So I got in at the end of the market. Why? Because the pattern was still there. The setup was still there. It just wasn't my day. The market wasn't with me. So next day it goes out. it goes down a little bit more, but it surges a little. Next 2 days, it consolidates. Thursday, rip. Friday, rip. Close the gap, close inside of the candle that eventually it gapped from, which is a good sign that it's strong, and we got a powerful move to the upside. So with that play, with the we had so I called that on um, Monday, this Monday. I called it, and then I called it the prior. I mean, I'm sorry, not Monday, Tuesday, because Tuesday was the first day of this week. I called it on that Tuesday, but I also called it on that Thursday prior because, again, I felt confident in that we would see a nice surge to the upside to go fill the gap, and eventually that's what it did. So, uh, on the contracts that from that Thursday that expired on the 24th, the maximum return you could have got on that trade, $65 strike price would have been 96% for that trade. Then the trade from Tuesday, the $65 strike price that expires that on July the 1st, on that day, the first day from the open price to the high of the day, you could have gotten 14%. Not great, but it ain't a zero, right? But on that day, we got a pullback on it, and it kind of was choppy for the next 2 days, and eventually it did pop. The maximum that you could have gotten so far on this contract is 203% with another week to go. You're well into the money. It's trading at $71 right now. You're at a $65 strike price. You're well into the money, and you're surging. You're headed up here towards the 80s. So if you have taken that trade, you should be very happy, as I am. So that's square, block, whatever you want to call it. I'm still going to call it square. It's just like I'm having an issue with calling Facebook, uh, calling Facebook Meta. But the next one I want to take a look at is Boeing. Boeing is another trade that after that, actually, you know what? I did a video on Monday because I had forgotten that we got June. The markets was closed on Juneteenth. So I got up all excited on Monday, and I was happy about what I saw the prior week with Boeing and whatnot. And I figured, man, it's getting ready to break through this little resistance area and whatnot, and we can get about a $10 move out of it. And so I called this based off of what I seen on the S&P in SPX futures on Monday morning. And so the next day I just told the guys, hey, listen, run the same play, run that play back. And it didn't go our way. It pulled back. It opened. It went up a little bit, and it pulled back and pulled back for the first 3 days of the week. Not real. It didn't plunge or anything like that. It just was a pullback. But then on Friday, we finally got the move that I anticipated we would get on Tuesday. We finally got it on Friday. However, I called it on Monday, so I have to give you the numbers for Monday. So from the open to the high on Monday, this play got 0%, right? And but however, had you waited a little bit, and that's what I'm talking about with plays. If there's, not all the time it happens, but keep it on your watch list. Particularly for those of you who are in my trading group, you should know this already, to keep that particular company in your watch list. Pay attention to it because you may get an entry here. And then once you see a big bottom and tail like this on Thursday, that should give you some type of an indication that, okay, this thing may go in our direction today. Okay. See, it closed right here. Then it gapped up a little bit on Monday, and it didn't even, it just took right off. It opened at 135.01. It low of the day was 6 cents less at 134.95, and it just ripped. Right now, you got another week left in this contract. It expires on the 1st. But mind you, I put that play out way back here on Thursday, which I thought it would. I thought the move that it made on Friday would have been made much earlier in the week. It didn't happen. So there's still some room on that. It's a 145 strike price. However, I'm not in that play, unfortunately, because I'm not following my own advice and staying with the play. But no, I had found something else that looked it a lot better. So, I missed that. That's okay, because there's plenty of companies to trade, and there's plenty of setups that look good and whatnot. Just can't fall in love with a particular chart, especially with Boeing, as finicky as it is. But anyway, so that play right now is at 0, right? I got to keep it real with you. I'm not going to come up here trying to inflate numbers to make myself look like some type of guru, because I'm not that. I'm just a brother who knows a little something and don't mind sharing and helping empower people to be better. But anyway, that's the Boeing play. Then on Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Actually, Tuesday. Wednesday, after Tuesday's big pullback on Meta, not Facebook. After Tuesday's pullback, I figured we would get a bigger move to the downside. Actually, you see my alerts right here. I actually thought we would get down here to 130, 152 at least. But it didn't happen. So we got a nice pullback on that day. But that play overall it only got 27% for this move here, from the opening price to the low of the day, to the high price of the day. So that's a 17% play. Still some more time left on it, but however, that was a put. So I don't see that. However, it could happen, but I'm not grabbing no puts right now on Meta. Not at the beginning of the trading week, at least. Probably towards the end of the week, I do believe we will get a massive pullback, but that's a whole nother story, a whole nother video, and I'll get to that soon. I'll get to that next week. And lastly, yesterday, if you watched the pre-market video, I came in and I said, man, listen, all this stuff looks suspect. Things didn't, SPY had gapped up. Everything looked like it wanted to surge. The market looked like it was really going to have the day that it did have, a green day. However, it was a few things that I did not necessarily like. However, I gave out 2 tickers on that day, and I did not even intend on trading Friday, but I gave out 2 tickers, and I ended up getting into the Airbnb trade, and that was a $105 strike price, and from the opening price to the high of the day, you couldn't have got a return of 113% on that trade in particular. The other ticker that I put out, I actually put it out on the video, but I didn't give it to the guys in the trading chat. Sorry, guys, I forgot, but you should have been watching the videos anyway. And we see that in the video did the same. It had a nice surge. So just sharing the results of the trading group. Listen, if you're having any issues with your trading whatsoever, if you need signals or what have you, reach out to me, and I could put you in the trading chat, in my trading chat, give you signals and whatnot. Follow me on all my social media platforms. It's going to be in the link tree click on the Linktree link to do that. Also, I have technical analysis courses and things like that. More content coming to the channel as well. So I'm going to end this video now. I'll be coming back real soon to tell you all, show you all how to track your trades and what do I do, how do I track my trades. And also I'll be coming with a weekly trading plan, basically showing you what I'm looking at this weekend. I'll drop that video tomorrow. So, all right, peace and love.